I'm going to demonstrate the area model with mixed number by mixed number multiplication, 1 3/5 groups of or times 2 3/4. So I'm going to begin by drawing a rectangle to represent the area. And I know that when I'm looking at this, I know I have one group of 2 3/4, multiplication meaning groups of, one group of 2 3/4. So I'm going to start my area model with that. So I'm going to put 2 3/4 here, my 1 3/5 here, and you may be connecting this to whole number multiplication if you're wanting to find the area of a floor or something like that. You would know what to do with whole numbers, so we're doing the same idea here with mixed numbers. So I'm going to begin with one group of 2 3/4. So I'm going to split this rectangle in half and show there's 1, here's my 2, 1, 2, and then I need to show 3/4 over here. So I'm going to divide this whole into quarters, and even though they're not exactly equal parts, it's simply a representation, and I'm going to shade in 2/4, 3/4. I have 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. 1/4 is not shaded. So that's showing one group of 2 3/4. Now I need to show 3/5 groups of 2 3/4. So I'm going to again draw 2 3/4. So there's 1, 2, and again I'm going to show 3/4 here. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and I'm going to shade in those 3/4 very quickly. And then on each of these holes I need to represent only 3/5 of each of those holes. So that means I need to divide each of these, and I'm going to go all the way across on these two holes, into fifths. So that would be 1/5 in each hole, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, and then 5/5. So in each hole I'm going to shade in 3/5, 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, and then over here I'm going to shade in 3/5. Now on this 3/4 I need to shade in 3/5 of those 3/4, so I need to subdivide these quarters into fifths, and I'm going to do that vertically. So here is 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, and then 5/5. So if I look at this here, this hole here has now been renamed into 20ths. So I want to have common denominators with my fractional parts, so I need to rename each of these sections into 20ths as well. Up here this is 3/4, so I need to rename that into 20ths. So 4 times 5 is 20, so I'm going to subdivide these quarters into fifths, 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, and 5/5. So now I have this part here, or this section I should say, is now renamed into 20ths. Over here I need to take each of these fifths and subdivide them into fourths, because 5 times 4 is 20, and then I'll have 20 pieces. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4. And again, the parts aren't equal size pieces, but it is just a representation. Over here I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut these fifths into fourths. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4. And then out to the side here I'm going to actually write what I've shaded in here. So here I've got 1 and 1. That's obviously 2. We know that. Over here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have 12 out of the 20, because I have 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I have 12 20ths shaded. And I know I have the exact same thing over here, 4, 8, 12 out of the total of 20, 12 20ths. And then over here I wanted to take 3/5 of the 3/4, so I'm just going to kind of, since this is a little messy here, I'm only taking 3/5 of the shaded part, which is right here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces I'm considering, and I need to relate that to the whole. And again, there are 20 pieces in this whole here, so I have 9 out of the 20. And then up here, I have, since this was originally cut into quarters, and then I subdivided it into fifths, I want to consider these 5, and these 5. That's a total of 15, and it's 15 out of the whole, which there are 20 pieces here. So I have 15 20ths here. So just like you did with partial products with whole numbers, if I add up all of these partial products, that should tell me the product of 1 3/5 times 2 3/4. So if I think about 2 plus, and I can combine these with fractions like denominators, 12 20ths plus 12 20ths is 24 20ths, plus 9 20ths is 33 20ths, plus 15 20ths is 48 20ths, which is kind of an odd fraction. We don't really think about something in 48 20ths, but I know it's a fraction greater than 1, and I know that I could rename that into 2, and because 2 groups of 20 is 40, and then I have 8 pieces remaining out of 20. So what I'm really dealing with here is 2 plus, I'm going to rewrite this, 2 plus 2 and 8 20ths, which equals 4 and 8 20ths can be simplified to 4 and 4 tenths by dividing 8 and 20 by 2, since they both have that factor in common. And then I can see that, well, 4 and 4 tenths, that 4 tenths can be simplified further to 2/5 by dividing 4 and 10 each by 2. So I now have 4 and 2/5. So the product of 1 3/5 and 2 3/4 is 4 and 2/5.